Hello and welcome to your weekly horoscope forecast for week commencing the 2nd of May. As this week begins, Venus, the planet of grace, of charm, of aesthetics, of fashion, but also of relating and of course of money, moves into the first zodiac sign of Aries. If you have been going through some soul searching around a relationship issue recently, this could bring you more into the present, especially if there has been, unfortunately, a separation in your situation. But Venus also moves into an immediate, sparkling alliance with Mercury in one of its two home zones of Gemini. Now this can lead to some flirtatious text winging around. It could also bring a greater sense of enthusiasm to the social scene. Of course, the Sun does continue alongside Uranus in Taurus, which is very much to do with our resources. But Uranus is asking us through the Sun to be as open-minded as possible, to not hold on to things that no longer serve our greater purpose. And in some ways that might be some of the things we've taken for granted a little bit because the cost of living has gone up so much. We might find actually that some of the things we thought were so essential we can let go, and because the two of them are forging such a very powerful and energizing link to the planet of drive, Mars, we can dig deep from within ourselves to find ways in which we can reorder things. Some of that sparkle that Venus and Mercury are going to bring, despite the fact that Venus is technically in its detriment in Aries, could be enjoying the interaction, the personal interaction, and that doesn't really cost anything at all. Now also, there is by Sunday a quarter moon in the sign of Leo. This sees the Sun in the 2nd, the Moon in the 5th, which just cautions us not to be too free and easy with our resources. But also, if there is somebody that we're rather fond of, perhaps they've become rather too used to us indulging them. And this could be a good moment to actually just reinforce our boundaries somewhat. But Jupiter, the planet of fortune, is forging a very powerful alliance to Pluto, the planet of transformation, that goes on all through this week. People who have this in their natal horoscopes are often very lucky and often make quite good progress in life in a material context. But of course, Jupiter in the sign of Pisces can be more of a spiritual dimension, but something can change or evolve in a way which pleases us through that particular influence. Also, Saturn in Aquarius is forging a semi-sextile to Neptune. Some of the things that we might think are very important to our structure of our lives, we might be able to let go of some of those with Neptune's help. But of course Neptune can erode structures in a less positive way, but I don't think that will be the case. I think again we can realise that some of the things that we think or thought were so important are not quite as important as they actually seem to be in the past. Now, if you would like to ascend above this Zodiac broadcast, if you give me 3 pieces of personal information, I can give you a roadmap that can guide the rest of your life. A natal analysis is so incredibly insightful, but also with this, with my special offer, you can also get a 12-month forecast, and the two working together, and I give you 30% off, can really be so very meaningful in terms of tapping your potential, avoiding pitfalls, and making the right moves at the right time. Please see the link below this video for more. Finally, if you are new to my channel, before I give you your Zodiac forecast, if you would be so good to subscribe, I'd be really grateful. I'm racing towards 100,000 subs. It's taken a bit longer than it should have done because of all my health issues, but your support is greatly appreciated. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your weekly forecast for week commencing the 2nd of May. A delightful event occurs on Monday. Venus, the planet of relating, but also the planet of money, moves into your 5th house, governed by your sister fire sign of Aries. This can add an extra spark to you, and it's linked to Mercury in your sector of relating. Suggests that if there is something that you want to tell people about, that you're enthusiastic and upbeat around, then you can do so with a lot of sparkle. I think Mercury and Venus in this lovely alliance could lead to lots of flirty text messages and emails going around between all sorts of people this week. But of course the Sun and Uranus and the North Node are in a much more pragmatic and practical part of your scope, the 6th house. Uranus asks us to get in touch with the truth of situations, but it also can show up where we feel throttled or trapped. If you're in a job, for example, that feels like it's a slog and you're not getting very much appreciation or acknowledgement for your hard work and application, that could be something that you're thinking about changing. Because Mars in your 4th house of the home and family is in the mix, maybe a declutter in your home environment can actually be very good for your sense of well-being, or some changes around your diet, particularly if you embrace some fresh and innovative approaches. That also could be something that's positive to do this week. Now Jupiter, your ruler, is also in your 4th house, so this may be a time when there are changes going on in the family or where you live, or at least how you live there. But Jupiter is linking brilliantly to Pluto. Now Pluto has been quite a hard taskmaster for you over the last year, since 2008, and has transformed your values or the need for foundations in your world. But this is a very lucky combination. So money linked to a property or a family situation looks bright. Later in the week we do have that quarter moon in Leo. This is just saying to you, just be conscious that at the moment you need not to give up too much of your free time. You need to look after your physical self, because Uranus can create a lot of electric energy, and if we're volunteering for everything and being, very much can do and spreading ourselves a little bit too thinly, that can end up being quite exhausting. So I think by the end of this week, a good time to just wind down and focus very much on your own needs and enjoying a little bit of escapism from life's everyday obligations and chores.